What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fit Women's Weekly Podcast. Man, I'm excited to be here. I was not sure I would get an opportunity to sit down and chat with you guys. We had an appointment that we forgot about, and all of a sudden my husband came running into our house. I was like, oh my gosh, you're supposed to take the car to XYZ in the next 30 minutes. So I was like, this is my podcast recording day. Luckily, I was able to move some things around, and I'm really excited to be able to chit chat with you because this is a really cool concept that I want to talk about, and it's this idea of stop majoring in the minors. Now, I cannot take responsibility for this. One of my friends sent me a post with this idea of majoring in minors and said that that was something that her dad used to tell her all the time whenever she would really over stress about things she doesn't need to be stressing about. And I started thinking about like how we do that when it comes to our health journey and with our fitness and our nutrition. And it's a really big topic that I've been talking about a lot with my clients in Fit Women's Weekly Live, and I wanted to share it with you guys as well. So we're going to talk about stop majoring in the minors and what are the things that you should actually be putting all of your energy to. What are the 7 habits that help create a healthy lifestyle that first we need to put all of our energy into before we ever think about all the little things. And don't worry, I'll cover what do I mean when I say all the little things. Let's talk about this idea of majoring in the minors. What does that mean? It means exactly what it sounds like, putting so much emphasis on the little things that don't need to take priority. We are busy enough, so we need to start freeing up space in our head for things that don't need to take up space in our head. And when it comes to the fitness world, I also saw a post recently saying how we all put our nose up because pharmaceuticals are out to just make money, right? But at the end of the day, so are most health and fitness experts too. The fitness and the supplement industry is a multi-billion, if not trillion at this point per year area. And at the end of the day, a lot of companies are just out to make money. Everything is being pushed as a special type of exercise, a special type of supplement, a special type of diet. And so then that makes us get into our own heads and go, oh, do I need to be doing this? Is this the one exercise that's going to change everything for me? Is this the one supplement that I need to start doing that's going to make the biggest change in my body and my ability to lose weight? Oh my gosh, if I take this supplement, is it going to solve all of my hormone issues? And the answer is no. Everyone would like to make it seem that way, but no, those are all the minor details that need to come secondary to figuring out what the main things are that are going on. So let's talk about what are the things that you should be focusing on? And I have 7 habits that should be implemented into your life to make sure that you are living the healthiest, fittest life possible. Number 1, getting enough sleep. Now, I know, trust me, you're like, Kindal, that is nothing new. I know it's not, yet repetition is the key to success because most people still aren't getting enough sleep. So even though you know sleep should be a priority, are you actually getting enough of it? And yes, that means getting at least 7 hours of sleep. Some people, of course, can do fantastic off of less than that. I have a friend, my friend Gigi, who can get like 4 hours of sleep per night and feels like the Energizer Bunny all day. Then there are certain people that need to get more than that. Some people, if they don't get at least 9 hours of sleep, feel like a zombie. But you need to figure out what works best for you. And I'm hoping that as an adult, you have now at least become aware of what your body needs to feel at its best. I know that personally, I need 7 hours of sleep. So what I've started implementing, and we talked about this on a past episode, is not focusing on what time I need to wake up in the morning to get my 7 hours. It's what time should I actually be closing down at night and going to sleep. So I'm kind of trying to do it in the reverse order because my wake up time is set in stone. I wake up at 5 a.m. I have to for my job. I have to be at a certain place at 6:15 in the morning. So I can't change what time I wake up, but I do have control of what time I can go to sleep at night. Now, does that mean that means I can't scroll my phone as much or stay up mindlessly watching TV? Yeah. But at the end of the day, no pun intended, I know that I'm going to feel a lot better the next day because I allowed myself to go to sleep. And I do have my phone now set on an alarm that I think it's at 8:45 each night. It simply pops up and says, hey, you're getting close to your bedtime. It's time to start shutting down. And that really does help. So habit number 1, are you getting enough sleep? And seriously, ask yourself, don't just say, yes, I know I need sleep. Are you doing the things that you need to actually get enough sleep? Habit number 2, hydrate your body. If you're not fully hydrating your body and drinking enough water, you have absolutely zero business taking creatine or any other supplement for that matter. But I would say especially creatine, because right now that's dubbed as kind of one of the really powerful supplements out there. And it is. I do recommend that a lot of people take creatine. However, you need to make sure that you're hydrating your body enough to help with your muscles and to help with that creatine to go through your body. Otherwise, you might end up constipated and you might not be feeling your best. And the whole point of something like creatine is to give you a little bit of energy. Now, that energy is very small. It's only about a 3% increase. But if you are even the slightest bit dehydrated, then you're not going to have the energy that you need and you're just crisscrossing things off. You're not doing anything. So make sure that you are fully hydrated. If your skin's not feeling the best, if you just wake up and you simply say things like, I know I don't do a good job of drinking water, that's your sign. Start drinking water. And if that means keeping a really big water bottle beside you, I also have a half-gallon water bottle that I carry, especially during the summer months. Start prioritizing having water available to you all the time so that you're more likely to actually drink it. Now, how much water should you be drinking? That is completely dependent upon you and your habits and your body size. But I do recommend kind of like a good umbrella to start is anywhere between 80 and 100 ounces, especially if you're working out consistently. So hydrate yourself. Don't try to think like, hey, maybe I'm just missing creatine, or maybe I just need some caffeine to help energize my day. Maybe you're just not drinking enough water and your body is suffering the consequences of that. So there's some food for thought. Habit number 3, do everything that you can to decrease your stress. Now, listen guys, I know that stress is inevitable. Adulting is hard. Life right now is hard. I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of living in unprecedented times. It is exhausting, but there are certain things that you can do to control certain stresses in your life, like getting enough sleep, or maybe that includes writing in a journal. Now, I've already told you guys I'm not going to write in a journal. I've tried it. It does not work for me. However, I will go for at least a 5-minute walk every single morning where I use that as my mental journal. I talk about, and to myself, and sometimes I will actually say it out loud as well, the things that I'm grateful for, the things that I want to accomplish that day. I will give myself some positive mantras just to help remind myself that I am capable of so much more. So whether it's journaling or having some kind of verbal conversation with yourself, do it every single day, and that will help decrease your stress. Doing box breathing, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold. Or we practiced a breathing exercise a few podcast episodes ago where I think it was a 4 seconds in and a 6 seconds hold. I'm a big believer, and this is just a true fact, that if you can control your breathing, you control your heart rate, right? And one thing that we know about stress is it's going to increase your blood pressure, it's going to increase your heart rate. So if you can take that big deep breath and then treat it like a negative, when it, like, exercise talk, where you're slowly exhaling as slowly as you can and control it, that's instantly going to bring your heart rate down. And it's also going to help with your endorphin levels and just make you have that feeling of calm. Or maybe for some people, it's just sitting in your car for 5 minutes before you go inside. Regardless, do little things throughout the day that help you feel better and help decrease your stress levels. If your stress is through the roof, no magical supplement, no ashwagandha is going to help cure it. Control the things in your life you can that'll help with decreasing your stress, and then you can work on the other things after. 4, increase your steps or just your daily movement in general. Now, I'm talking about it in steps because that's how it's something that's easily trackable. Good grief. Because most of us do have some kind of stepwatch on, but it doesn't have to be steps. Our bodies are meant to move. And so we've become so sedentary with our work where we're sitting at our desk for 8 hours a day, whether that is standing, getting your at least 7,000 steps per day, which that's what's recommended to improve your overall health or more, or just doing little mini bouts of exercise throughout the day, maybe doing 20 push-ups when you wake up in the morning, 20 push-ups before you get in the shower, 20 push-ups at lunchtime, 20 push-ups when you get home in the afternoon, and then 20 more push-ups before you go to bed. Those little actions can make a really big impact on your body's ability to release stress. Plus, if you're able to do these things outside, like going for a walk, we all know that having the sun on our skin, feeling the breeze, breathing in fresh air can help us so much decrease our stress and help improve our mental load and help just improve our life altogether, right? And the reason that I'm talking about all of these things is because these are the steps that when you do them, sleep, hydrate, stress, these are the things that are going to make hitting the goals with your body, whether that is weight loss or just building muscle or just living a healthier lifestyle in general, easier, because it's going to help control our hormone levels, bring it back to a basic level where our hunger is going to be easily more manageable and our body is not always under this load of like recovery. These are the recovery skills that we should be doing every single day. Tip number 5 is exercise most days. So like I just said, what we should be doing most days of the week. Exercise is definitely a most day sort of activity. You don't need to be exercising 7 days a week, but I am asking you to exercise 4 to 6 days a week, depending on where you're starting. And that should be a mix of 3 different things. Your exercise days should be a mix of cardio, strength training, and mobility/stretching. Cardio is for your heart health so that you live longer. Actually just did a post on this on Instagram. Strength training is so that you can maintain an independent life. You can move your body without fear of injury, with better balance, with better bone density. You don't need help from other people at doing simple tasks. And then mobility and stretching are for pain-free lives, right? We sit down a lot, so it's very normal for lower back issues to happen or hip problems to happen, knee issues. But if we work on our mobility and our stretching, those things are going to go away, and it's all 3 going to come together to improve our quality of life as we get older. And of course, also doing those things, if weight loss is a goal for you, is going to help to increase our caloric expenditure and help you lose weight faster and build muscle mass, which is also going to have a huge impact on your metabolic health as well. And then number 6, know what you're putting into your body and track without restriction. This is going against the idea that this diet is going to work or this supplement is going to happen. If you don't know what you're putting into your body, how do you know what's actually going to work? So I do recommend, if you have never tracked food in your entire life, spend the next week or 2 simply tracking what you're eating, not with the idea of trying to hit certain numbers, but for you to gain a true understanding of what you're putting into your body. You might have this revelation of being like, well, no wonder I feel crappy. I'm only getting 40 grams of protein in when I'm supposed to be getting 120 grams of protein in. Or, oh man, no wonder I feel poopy because I'm only getting in 10 grams of fiber. I'm supposed to be getting 25 grams of fiber. So we like this idea of eating intuitively, but the problem is in today's society, we don't know what that means anymore because we simply live off of convenience and just grabbing what we want and what's around us versus learning what we actually need and then building our diet from there. So I do think it's really important before we start looking into any magical program is to figure out what it is that you're doing right now and see what kind of tweaks you can make to your nutrition to help yourself feel better. If you are not eating enough fiber, if you are not getting your vitamins and minerals through a variety of different foods in your diet, if you're not getting enough protein, and if you're not eating a healthy amount of fats as well, those things are going to affect not only how your body looks, but how your body feels, how your skin is, how your hair glows. And you might be thinking, man, maybe I need to take a niacin pill because of my nails and my hair. Okay, but then you just did your nutrition and realized you were only getting in 15 grams of fat per day. Well, there's your problem right there. So it's definitely things that let's get a bigger picture of what's going on. Study your nutrition. If you need help with this, let me know. And then the last thing that I'm going to say, tip number 7, is to make all of this easier, pre-plan. And I know that's hard, and you don't have to be one of those people that spends 5 hours on their Sunday cooking every single meal or writing out every single workout, but plan how you want to get things done. On a Sunday, sit down, look at your schedule and say, these are the days that I'm going to work out. This is how I'm going to formulate my workouts and make it happen. So like for me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I double things up. I run in the morning and then I do my lifting a little bit later in the day. And then I'm able to, and then on Saturday, I just run. And then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I just do my strength. Now, that might be the same for you. That might be different for you. Look at your schedule and also remember that something is better than nothing. So if you plan out your workouts and then something comes up, oh man, I can't do my 60-minute workout. Okay, well then do a 20-minute workout because that something is going to help hold you consistent, and that something is still better than nothing. And then when it comes to your food, do the same thing. You don't have to meal prep every single thing where you're cooking your meals outright, But sit down before you go grocery shopping and plan out, what are you going to be doing for breakfast? What are you going to have for lunches this week? What's going to be your dinners? And then just make sure that the ingredients that you need are in your house so that you're actually able to stick to it. And that way you know you're going to be hitting your nutritional requirements because you've planned it out, and you're going to be more likely to stick to it because you have them available to you, versus if you're like, oh man, I'm supposed to have, I don't know, chicken pot pie tonight, but I don't have a rotisserie chicken in the house already. P.S. That's a huge tip, is just use rotisserie chicken in something like a chicken pot pie. And you're tired, you don't want to stop by the grocery store. So that just makes it so easy to be like, well, okay, I guess I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stop by Chick-fil-A on the way home instead. So make sure that you make it easy on yourself to stick to your plans. Don't set yourself up for sabotage. And that way you're going to be majoring in the majors versus majoring in the minors. Get all of this stuff together, and then you can start thinking about, what kind of supplement should I be taking? Remember, a supplement is going to take you 1 to maybe 3% of a next level. And if you are a professional athlete where milliseconds count, then yes, that might have a huge impact. But for most of us just trying to live the best life possible, most of us don't really need the supplements, unless we're talking like a multivitamin. The supplements that we take in our house are creatine. I am a big fan of creatine, like I talked about earlier. I do take a protein powder supplement to make sure I'm hitting my protein, but I don't really consider that so much of a supplement as I do part of just my nutrition to make sure that I'm hitting my 130 grams of protein per day. I also take an electrolyte because I work out outside and it's very, very hot, and I want to make sure that the water I drink doesn't just go through my system, that's actually able to be pulled into my cells. So electrolyte is very important. And then for me, and I take a multivitamin. I do take a gummy, a woman's prenatal vitamin. And then my husband does all of that, except he takes a men's multivitamin, and he takes a green supplement as well, like a green powder. And that's just to make sure he is getting all of the different vitamins and minerals that he can from nutrition that we don't get through our normal food, because you kind of typically stick to the same roots and vegetables every single day. We kind of have lost our variety here. So that's where he does that. I don't personally do it because I feel like I'm doing just fine with it. Stop majoring in the minors, start majoring in the majors. If this was helpful for you, please let me know. Make sure to comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast, no matter what platform it is you're listening to, and leave a review. It really does make a huge difference. And keep your eyes and ears open, especially over on Instagram, Kindal Boyle Fitness, because over the next week, I'm going to be releasing some really big news of some things that are coming to Fit Women's Weekly, and I don't want you to miss out. All I'm going to say is May is going to be a very big month, and you're going to have the opportunity to do some really cool things, and I don't want you to miss. So keep your eyes and ears open. Make sure that you follow me over on Instagram, but more than anything, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast, and I will be back in just a couple of days.